Hey everyone, it's John here from Hockey Hockey, back with another video. This video is on ANDREI KUZMENKO choosing the Vancouver Canucks to sign with, and coming over from the KHL. It seems like the Canucks have gotten a good pickup from overseas, and of 4 finalists in the NHL, Kuzmenko did choose Vancouver. So I want to go over a few things. I don't know too much on the player. I've seen some highlights. I've read a couple scouting reports. It does seem like a guy that's been a little bit of a late bloomer. He's 26 years old and a smaller player. And I'll read over one of the scouting reports, but according to his Instagram page, Kuzmenko has chosen the Vancouver Canucks. So in choosing the Canucks, it seems like he should be in the lineup, I would say, next year. Like, he, there you go, repping the Canucks jersey. But I think for this guy, based on the highlights, I don't think he's going to be this big, like, star contributor in the NHL. But I do see him as potentially maybe a second-line guy at the most, maybe a middle six guy, a smaller complementary piece on maybe like a third secondary line. So I just want to go over his stats. So again, a little bit of a late bloomer in terms of production. I'll just zoom this up here. So through 45 games, St. Petersburg, he had 53 points, 53 points in 45 games. He had 14 points in 16 playoff games. So he kind of had like 3 years in a row where he was just in that 30 to 40 point range. And then last year was kind of his coming out party, 20 goals. And a lot of his goals, if you check out his highlights over the last couple of years, they are in and around the net. I think this guy has a little bit of a nose for the net. He's very smart off the puck. I think that's the biggest thing I was noticing on some of his tape, is really smart off the puck, gets into those holes. I will read the scouting report, but it doesn't seem like skating is his strong attribute. So a little concerning for a guy under 6 foot, 5'11". He's listed as 5'11". I'm not sure if he's 5'10", 5'11". But for a little bit of a smaller player, it's a little concerning that skating is not his strong attribute. And we've seen some players come from overseas, and skating being a problem more so in the NHL. I mean, I've seen it time and time again. So I'll make a comparison. Like an Ilya Mikheyev came over, and while a lot of his, I would say, attributes are behind in terms of hands, in terms of accuracy at times, his speed makes up for it and allows him to stay in the NHL. So Kuzmenko will have to overcome that. And just looking at quick thoughts here on The Athletic, Kuzmenko has been one of the top forwards in the KHL this season. I'll just shrink this down so you guys can read it on the screen. He's been on the NHL radar for several years, and with his KHL contract with SKA now up at the end of the season, there will be a lot of interest. Kuzmenko has a very high skill level, being able to beat KHL defenders with his one-on-one play often and create many highlight reel moments. He can make creative plays, passes, improvise as well in tight areas. He has the flashy skill, but also plays hard, and despite his 5'11" frame, doesn't shy from creating around the net and attacking in high percentage areas. That's kind of what I was talking about. His skill, he has a lot of skill, but he's definitely very smart in terms of filling the gaps. And yeah, as he says, attacking the high percentage areas. On top of his frame, Kuzmenko lacks the speed you'd like to see, especially in a smaller forward. But the rest of his game is so good that I think he can be a middle six wing in the NHL. So in terms of this list, it was up there. Kuzmenko is a guy that a lot of teams were looking at, and the Canucks win this one. So it's very interesting to see if, say, the Canucks make a JT Miller trade or they make some kind of deal. Kuzmenko can be one of those fillers right away. So give me your thoughts in the comments, but Kuzmenko to the Vancouver Canucks. We'll see if he can be a big contributor or a decent contributor in their top 9 at the very least, and we'll see who he ends up playing with. I think that's where, just for the Canucks, a guy like this, you want to balance well with some size. I mean, I would even say if they did keep JT Miller, I feel like Kuzmenko could be a good player to have next to JT Miller. Like if you were running 3 centers, so the Canucks keep JT Miller, you have Pettersson on one line, you have obviously Bo Horvat on another line, and you have JT Miller. And I feel like Kuzmenko would probably do well next to either a Bo Horvat or JT Miller, potentially, if you want to balance it out. But hey, if you want to go skill, get Kuzmenko next to PD, and maybe that would work out. So subscribe, like, comment, turn that notification bell on. Hope to see you guys on the next videos and streams. And like I said, just give me your overall thoughts on ANDREI KUZMENKO to the Vancouver Canucks.